Hey, I'm glad you're back. Chapter 47, April 25th. Feel strange. I've been feeling this way since last Wednesday, since I lost the race off. If I say that word out loud, it kind of makes me shiver. At first, it was a strange bad feeling. The instant Webb broke the string, I regretted what I had done. As we slowed down, he turned to me. He was confused. I knew what he was going to say. Did you let me win? But then the team was mobbing him, and I jogged off the track. The three people still stood under the crossbar, smiling their faces off. Thursday, I didn't go to practice. On the walk home, I looked once back at the track. The 4 relay runners were practicing baton handoffs. I felt sick to my stomach. No practice on Friday. The coach took the 4 relay runners to Franklin Field in his car. The race was scheduled at 2:20 p.m. And at 2:20 p.m., I was in math class, my favorite. Just kidding. I tried to picture the race at Franklin Field, but the funny thing is, it kept being shoved aside by another picture. This one showed Henry Wilhide Webb III, standing, pumping his arms, shouting and cheering. This morning the announcement came on the PA. The Springfield team had come in second at the Penn Relays, our best finish ever. The principal gave the names of the 3 eighth graders, then he said, and the anchor leg was run by Penn Webb, who brought the team from last place to second place. I could hear cheers from his homeroom all the way down the hall, and inside I cheered for him too. Chapter 48. April 30th. I was in the kitchen doing my new job, cutting out food coupons for magazines. When I heard my mother yelp, I ran to the living room. She was staring at Scooter's walker. It was lying at the foot of the stairs. She glanced into his room. Not there. She dashed up the stairs. Scooter, I heard her calling. He was in the hallway, staring at the picture of himself in his Navy uniform. The picture painted by his daughter, my mother. She stood behind him. She put her arms around him. How long have you been here, Scooter? Bye, he said. And you came up here all the way without your walker? Bye. We looked at the picture with him. You know, my mom said to me, there's one thing about this painting that is different from the others. What's that? I asked. He never posed for it. He didn't? I said. Nope. And I didn't paint it from a picture either. Well, how did you do it, Mom? She snuggled closer to him. From memory. He wasn't home much in those days, so when I did see him, I looked and looked at him until he was locked into my mind's eye. I was terrified I'd forget what he looked like when he went away again. When I painted this, he was as clear in my head as if he were standing right here. Right, Scoot? She said. Bye. And you see how he looks like he's saying something? Yeah, he is. He's saying, I'll be home soon, Lorraine. Bye. Back downstairs, she joined me at the kitchen table, clipping coupons. It's funny, she said, a while ago I was remembering all that, and I was thinking how little I saw you kids and how little you saw of me. And there was a minute back then when I was actually afraid you might forget what I look like. No such luck, I said. I know it sounds silly, but that was just before I told my boss I was going to go part-time. About Scooter making it up the stairs, I was surprised, but I wasn't, because 2 nights before, I did something. I mixed up some Missouri River mud. I took it into Scooter's room and made up a story about a school science project. Then I dipped his big toe in it. Chapter 49. I still get that strange feeling, like, is this really me? Am I dreaming? But it's not a strange bad feeling anymore. It's sometimes just different, sometimes even good. So much has changed from a year ago. The grass in the backyard is halfway up to my knees, and there's weeds higher than that, but the neighbors can't see because my father built a fence around it. Guess you could call it the world's smallest prairie. Another thing that has changed, there's a little bit of soft stuff on the floor of the mouse house. Now Abby and I get to tell stories to Scooter. My mother goes to garage sales every Saturday morning. She goes to the supermarket that gives double coupons. Whenever I ask her if she's gotten me something from the second time around store, she reminds me that I would not let her tell me. All I know is there's a very suspicious looking shirt hanging in my closet. I used my sneaker money to buy Mom a set of paints. She's going to start painting all of us again. And guess what? We're going to a ball game. My mother got the tickets, 5 of them. For herself, Scooter, Abby, me, and my dad. He says he won't have time to go. My mom says he'll be there. Abby bet me a water ice that my mom will win. I said my dad, I hope I lose that one. And guess what? I've been invited to a 4th of July party at Jane Forbes. And my best friend is Penn Webb. That is the end of the book. Before you take the test, make sure that you have a couple things in mind. Remember about the Missouri River mud that helped, that was part of the why Scooter maybe was able to get out of bed himself and use that walker by himself. Also, remember about the red high-heeled shoes. They were kind of glittery, and he bought those at the thrift store. And the reason why he had to buy them, he felt like he had to buy them because if he didn't buy something, then Scooter was going to die. Remember about the touchdowns that he scored? He kept on scoring and scoring all those touchdowns that first game against Hillside East, I think it was, and he felt he had to keep on scoring because if he didn't keep on scoring, then his mom and dad might not show up. Also, remember about the gift that Crash gave to Penn at the end, to lean and make sure that he leans so that he wins that race. And also, remember that Scooter's bed is the safest place for Abby and Crash. I hope you enjoyed this book. I look forward to doing a couple more of these videos with my math lessons. Have a great weekend. I'll see you when I see you. I miss you too.